That 2015 team that you were on had some incredible power hitters, and Joey Bats and Edwin, and on down the line, Josh Donaldson. There's been a lot of discussion about Vladdy here in town. Obviously, the Blue Jays are winning. The Blue Jays are hot. Everybody's happy. But they're also observing that Vladdy hasn't been hitting out of the ballpark like maybe a guy that just earned a $500 million contract should be hitting it out of the ballpark with just 12 home runs. You're a guy that pays attention to the details of hitting. I'm curious, when you watch him and you see what he's up to, what do you make of the fact that the balls aren't flying beyond the outfield wall in the way that maybe some people think they should be?
Yeah, look, beggars can't be choosers is the first thing I would say. Like, look, 10 games over 500 or 15 games over 500, whatever it is, and if the team's playing well, it really ultimately doesn't matter. And I think his ability to really he's going to impact the lineup no matter how many homers he hits, right? Like the threat, the fear, the imposition of having him in the middle of your order is similar to having Jose or Eddie or Josh in the lineup, right? Like the production, it doesn't matter as much as the threat of the production, because what it's done is it's opened up a lot of opportunities for other guys, right? I would rather Vlad Guerrero Jr. take his walks and stay in the strike zone and make sure that he's having competitive at-bats over and over again, because he's going to get his, right, whenever it happens. And people have seen Vlad go on runs that are, non-human in a lot of ways, because he's capable of it, right? So who's to say that he won't hit 30 in the second half, right? We don't know. More than anything else, right? I used to have a pitching coach at AA that used to say homers are thrown, they're not hit. So, it's a combination of factors, and right, the one thing that you want to see from a guy like him is you want him to be taking his hits to right field. Like when Vladdy's staying in the big part of the field, which is true for just about any hitter, that's when the whole field really opens up, and there are just a lot of different considerations. The signing the contract, how does it affect you? Being in the negotiations, all that stuff. It all plays a small role in it, right? It's taking up bandwidth somewhere. So, I'm not too worried about him. He's got hit in his DNA, so he'll be just fine. And I'm rooting for the team to make a good run. I think I'm past the point now where I don't want any Blue Jays team to ever go past where we were, because I'll be jealous at that point.
No, it's a good place to be. And things are going so well, we can be concerned about this. Julio Rodriguez will not be in the All-Star game. Randy Arozarena has been named to replace him, so George Springer gets stiffed again. Does that make any sense?
No, I think George is, borderline Ben. He should be in the considerations for MVP this year. You've just seen the impact that a healthy George Springer, who's playing up to his capability, has on a team. And certainly, if you just look at the makeup of the team, really, what's the biggest change over the last few years? Sure, you could point to the young kids that are playing, but having George as a cornerstone guy, it doesn't really make sense. But then again, not a lot of things in Major League Baseball make sense.